We are live. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We are
Hello.
blessed today with two legendary guests. We got the always talented and beautiful Ranting with Ricardo, blessing us with
Hello.
her presence tonight. And then we got a man that barely needs any introduction. Yeah, everybody should know who this man is. Albert, the greatest of all time, Bostic, has blessed us
Thank,
with his presence tonight.
thank you, Kyreese. Captain Kyreese is in the chat. He's controlling it, and I'm in his hands, so I'm very
Yes.
happy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, first things I want to thank Tommy Smith for the super chat. It doesn't appear here, but Tommy Smith left a super chat earlier. He said, "Can you do titles tomorrow, Mr. Sheffield and the Nanny versus Summer? Victor's doing too much. He's ungrateful. Keep up the good work. Billy, Diane, or Michael kidnapped Phyllis and Sharon, Mr. Sheffield and the Nanny." Let's see. Billy, Diane, or Michael kidnapping Phyllis or Sharon. Out of those three, I would predict probably Michael if they wanted to do a twist like that. Because Diane, I mean, I wouldn't put anything past Diane, but I don't see her reasons for doing that right now. But I'll start with you, Ranting with Ricardo. Do you see any of them pulling that off?
I mean, it could be a call back to when Phyllis had Michael kidnapped after Michael she hired Michael to help her try to get custody of Daniel from Danny
Hmm.
and was going up against Christine, and she only chose Michael because Michael had harassed and stalked and did all of that to Christine, and she ended up losing and had him kidnapped, and at the time him and Diane were kind of a thing. I could see them paying Phyllis back for that, but I'm not sure where Sharon comes in. I'm still going with it was Drusilla, and she coming back to get her pound of flesh from them heifers pushing her over a cliff.
Right. Now, Albert, do you think it could have been any of those three names that were mentioned?
Yeah, it's really funny. Like Samuel, agrees with ranting with Ricardo as far as Drusilla. If they was to bring her back, I think that would be the perfect time. Um, Other than that, I don't see any of the other three though. Like I don't see any other
Mm-mm.
three. I would sit there and say Ian, which is the most obvious choice and the most boring one.
Oh, no. I'm upside down. Hold on.
And hello, Dewan. Hello, Jorge. Hello, Tommy Smith. Once again, thank you again. Jorge said, I would love it if Drusilla kidnapped Sharon and Phyllis. Tommy says Billy knows what happened. And hey, Double C, Drew and Sharon were friends. Yeah, that's the popular consensus that they were indeed friends. And but I do remember seeing the clip of Phyllis shoving Drusilla off that cliff. So that could definitely be in a
It do it this way because
be a reason. But now getting into General Hospital, my first question will be, do you believe that Lulu should mind her own business? Now, I'll ask Albert first.
No, no. As weird as that sounds, and trust me, I'm a person that's just like, you know, stay in your lane. I feel like she should probably just tell her the truth. Like it's the right thing to do. Like Dante needs to know he has a son.
Ranting with Ricardo, what do you think?
initially I thought Lulu should mind her own damn business. Okay, focus on the business that pays you, which isn't much because she don't have no job right now. Focus on them children because Rocco is looking just a tad bit lonely. But she needs something to do. She needs to be getting somebody's business. And her and Brooklyn getting along for just, way too long is weird for the rest of us. Like, y'all got to be in conflict some type of way. But the question is, what does this do to Dante if you force her to tell him, hey, we had a baby? And oh, yeah, the baby is living here. You know the baby. Baby been around the family.
True. Now, me personally, I would say, yeah, Lulu could mind her own business. But then again, she only cares about that demon seed child of hers that she's trying to bring back so badly. But what Lulu fails to realize though is when Charlotte comes back to Port Charles, she's gonna be a problem for everyone else because she's so attached to her papa. But Lulu, all she sees, I mean, I get to it to an extent that Charlotte should be with Lulu over Valentine since Valentine's a fugitive. However, I've never heard Lulu once say, I can't wait to when I get Charlotte back, I want to try to let me try to contact Kevin Collins to get this girl into therapy because she's going to need some therapy and stuff like that. She just expects when Charlotte comes home, they're just going to be one big happy family and not realizing what that's going to affect Rocco and everybody else around them because Charlotte is a Cassadine nonetheless.
You don't have a plan. I think the maybe for me like the biggest bone of contention I have with Leslie Liu, because I was one of the people happy to see Leslie Liu make her return from that coma. Been waiting on her, but the biggest issue is you don't have a plan. Like you said, what are you going to do when you get your daughter back? Do you have a house? Do you have a car? Do you have a job? Are you going to put her into therapy? Is Charlotte going to act out because she's leaving basically the lap of luxury to live with you? You you're not broke. It's not poverty, but you don't have the same thing that her papa has. Where's the plan? How does Rocco get, added to the plan? Is he gonna feel some type of way about you constantly running after his sister? Or putting his life on hold or in danger to go after his sister. She ain't got no plan. I don't know. She not no child of Luke and Laura. She
Hi,
definitely
Rosemary. How are you? But yeah,
because at least with Luke and Laura we had a plan. The plan might go off the rails. We might have to throw the plan away, but we had a plan.
that's true. She definitely doesn't. And then Jorge says Helena should come back on GH. She could put Lulu in her place. How would you like that, Albert, if Helena Cassadine came back?
That'd be cool because I joined General Hospital a little late, so like I didn't really get to sit there and see Elena like at her best before I
Mhm.
started watching it. So anytime I get to sit there and see Elena, I think it'd be interesting.
I
Ooh,
heard she's the queen of evil. So,
I sometimes miss her. Like she did some diabolical stuff, but I sometimes miss her because she had them people running.
hi, Dolomedics. How are you tonight?
I don't
Um,
know if you would want her back after what she did to Liz when it came to baby Aiden.
oh no, you know how much I love my Elizabeth now. That's my Elizabeth. So as long as she knows that Elizabeth is off limits upon her return, then me and Helena will be cool.
Maybe she'd get Nicholas out of jail. Seeing as ain't nobody, I don't know why he's still over there.
Is that- Exactly. If Esme's not in jail for, well, Esme's presumed dead, but I'm just saying he served his time for killing. I mean, for kidnapping Esme, as far as I'm concerned. Um, but getting into since we just mentioned Rocco, did you feel that Rocco was overreacting today? I'll start with Albert.
No, because he literally sat there and betrayed his trust. Like he practically was like, listen, I'm asking you this and see what you're gonna do. And then you take his phone and you're like, hey dad, this is what, the text is. So like I didn't think it was overreaction. I felt like he did violate his trust by doing that.
Now, how about you, Ranting with Ricardo?
It was a violation of trust, but it was like at this point y'all going tit for tat. You violated his trust first.
That's true. I mean, at the end of the day, Jason is the guy that would get things done. I could see if Rocco would have told Dante what was going. I mean, Danny would have told Dante what was going on, and
Hmm.
Lulu getting involved because Rocco could clearly see what an airhead his mother is. So that makes more sense. But Jason Morgan usually takes care of business. So if
He
Jason
can,
said he'll get Charlotte back, he'll likely get Charlotte back. Don't you agree with that, Albert? Since
No,
Jason's your longtime favorite.
absolutely. Even though I like Drew, but yes.
oh,
Here we
mm,
go. You and
Albert.
Drew. Oh yeah. So speaking of that, let's talk about Ava and Portia today. I noticed. Did you peep that line that Portia said? If Drew ends up dead, Did you peep that today? I
Of
peeped
course I
that.
did.
I was like, you know, Drew is really making a whole bunch of enemies. So maybe he really is turning into Julian Jerome after all. Um,
Mm-mm. That ain't no Julian. I keep telling y'all who it is. That's Shiloh. That is Shiloh. Sam, listen, rest in peace, Sam. Eventually they'll bring it back. Everybody always comes back. But Sam pointed it out when he got out of prison. She was like, there's something different about you. And when he came back from prison, that's when he was talking about putting Scout into a boarding school, which she was fighting him against. I think when he got caught that beat down in jail, it was for them to do a little switcheroo. And we got Shiloh because he's so adamant on Jason ruined my life. Sonny ruined my life. Nina, you're just this horrible person. It's just like, well, Nina does look like a sad bastard down, but I don't think she that horrible. I don't see it for her. But you're so adamant that Jason and Sonny ruined your life. For what? For how? Poor K. They didn't tell you to get on that plane and go, try to return that money. You the one who took the fall for Carly. You could have let Carly get locked up. Because a lot of people will see that. What did Sonny do to you? You're upset that you caught a beat down in the Quartermain foyer? Well, he had just seen the video of you knocking boots with your nephew's wife. I don't know. It's not, this guy can't be true. Because then that would mean y'all just destroyed this character for absolutely no reason other than to do so and to boost Jason up when you don't really need that. Shiloh was a villain. I tell you, this makes perfect sense for it to be Shiloh to move back into the Donna Day house.
mhm.
This Donna Day house.
That is the Donna Day house set though. So
Yeah, that is obviously, and it's so much of Sonny Jason, Sonny Jason, Sonny Jason. Specifics. I need specifics of what did they do to Drew to ruin his life. The only way this makes sense is there was a switch. Victor was a part of it. We're now looking at Shiloh. Y'all have yet to really tell us if it is. Because Sonny and Jason worked hand in hand with Sam. Because did he not? He wasn't broke up about Sam dying.
mhm. You didn't care not one bit. Not
He
really.
was not broken up about Sam dying. Jason, who normally doesn't, show emotions, we got a couple tears about him.
You beat that, right, Kyreese?
What?
The comment? Double C said?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was about to acknowledge that after she was done. But absolutely, y'all heard the Gates beat GH in ratings last week. I read that earlier today. I was so happy to read that. How do you feel about that, Albert? That a victory for the Gates, even though it came at General Hospital's expense.
It's weird because it's like on one hand I'm happy, on the other hand it's like I grew up with GH. So like it's kind of bittersweet in a sense, you know?
I feel this gives the General Hospital writers, they need to realize now's the time to step up, though. No more filler episodes. Let's just be real. Today had its moments, but they could have done better today than compared to what we got. I mean, Ava and Portia, I, I was okay with that scene, but she just went to Ava of all people for advice. Like, who the hell goes to Ava Jerome for real advice outside of, unless if you wanted to do some like criminal activity, Ava and Portia should have been plotting Drew's death today or something bad to happen to Drew, but that was just so pointless. Oh, because I'm gonna lose Curtis. Lose Curtis for what? Curtis hates Heather just as much as you do. If anything, he would understand why you did what you did. It's
Yeah.
just like it's manufactured drama, but
You mean Lil
No,
Bill?
huh?
You mean Lil Bill?
Yeah, little Bill Bastard Curtis. That's right.
she worried that he listen. I don't like to talk about my black people like this, but Curtis was hitting that pipe not too long ago. Back in the day, is she worried Curtis gonna get back on the pipe? Is that what she worried about? Because if Curtis didn't hit that pipe after you basically told him he had a grown adult daughter that you hid from him for all these years, I think you good. And you're right. Don't nobody go to Ava except for Trina for some real life advice.
Exactly. I
You
mean,
want
I love my Ava, but I'm not going to her for no life advice. I'm just
you
saying.
want art, you go to Ava. You want to figure out how to take somebody out possibly getting caught, you go to Ava. Life advice? Nah, I can't do that. Look
Hey,
at her.
Ron. And then Dewan says Albert is quiet today. He's surprisingly sober.
Not y'all coming for Albert. Y'all rude. Hmm.
You leave you leave Albert alone. We just got started. And then Ron says, "Hey, Kyreese, how did you feel about Gabby ruining Chanel and Johnny because of trying to trick Amy into the adoption thing?" I think Amy did the right thing, denying Johnny and Chanel her grandbaby because I don't trust EJ or Kristen or Rachel to be anywhere near that baby. So I'm standing on business with that. Johnny and Chanel. Like, and then also, I just hate when young couples on this show don't get their way. So they just automatically want to either buy a kid or just rush the process with stuff like that. Like with Molly and TJ, we just went through all that crap because Molly didn't even try to get the treatments that she needed to get the baby because she has a treatable condition. She could still give birth. Like they diagnosed her with a real life condition. There have been women that successfully gave birth with that condition. It requires treatment and some time. But oh no, we don't want to wait. We want what we want now. Like a baby is not a prop. It's a person.
Mm-mm. Molly had endometriosis, right?
Yeah.
Oh, girl, she could have had the surgery and then tried to see, like, waited after the surgery, tried for that year, and then after the year, they could have told her if she was infertile or not. She just didn't want to do it. But then again, Molly didn't want no kids to begin with.
Sure. She just wanted it because she can't. Because she found out she couldn't get it right whenever she wanted it. It would take more work.
It
So
was also please TJ, but it was like y'all just started in your careers. He rushed through medical. He rushed through medical school pretty quickly.
mhm.
I turned around and he's a full fledged doctor. Where they do that at?
It's
An
true.
an attending no less. But y'all are just starting your careers. Y'all weren't. I say this all the time with Molly and TJ, and maybe y'all could disagree with me, but when it came down to baby Natasha, because both of them names was ugly that her mamas chose for her, just ugly, ugly and elderly. I said, y'all wasn't even taking a break to get everything ready for the baby. They were both still working, and it's like it's a month out from the due, like a month or two out from the due date, and y'all are still just like working consistently, not slowing down. Really didn't have the room together, didn't have a car seat, didn't have diapers, wasn't no baby shower, still going to work. Y'all fighting about how much y'all both are working.
Mhm.
Wasn't really going to Christina's appointments with her. Child, y'all weren't ready for no baby. I would have told Christina to keep that baby. I don't care how the people feel.
Hey, Allison, how are you? So I'm ranting with Ricardo. You've been. I'm gonna ask an Albert level question because
Uh,
I've seen many of Albert's collabs. So you've been doing YouTube for how long now?
consistently, I want to say about 3 years now. On
Nice.
off for like 5.
And what motivates you to keep your channel going strong?
Um, the point of wanting to actually use my degree, like I went to school for production, television production, and I'm from Kansas City. There's not a lot unless it's like the news or working on independent like projects.
Mhm.
There's really not a lot of opportunities to do what I went to school for, and I really do not want to work on the news.
Nice.
I
Hello, Kimmy Nicole. How are you? Welcome to the chat.
Oh, hey Kimmy, I really don't want to work on the news, so it was like, well, I like to talk about, or I just like, I love soap operas. I love wrestling. I love these different things. And sometimes I can't nerd out, is what my friends call it, with them about this because they don't understand it. But oh, there's this community here on YouTube that I could do that with. And we could be talking our trash about some of these people. And y'all will get it. Y'all will understand why I feel the way I feel about these people. So that's what motivates me to continue going.
Nice. Albert, do you have any questions for ranting with Ricardo?
Yeah, I do. You saw my hand. Well, I was gonna sit there and say, like, have you, you went to school for communications and stuff like that. Have you ever thought about radio?
Not really. I didn't think about like doing radio. I don't know if that would be like a lane I would go into possibly because you can never say never about certain things, but I never like thought about doing radio.
Nice. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, your live streams are always very entertaining, especially with your wrestling and your Beyond the Gates watch alongs. I love watching you. Um,
Listen to the people in the back. Don't judge me when I'm watching wrestling. I get hype.
but hey, we all get hyped when we're watching wrestling. That's what we got to do. Now, Albert, I know you don't watch wrestling, but you have heard of John Cena, right?
of course.
So yeah, so John Cena, he's
Uh-uh.
he's
Why
been
you?
playing a babyface character for so many years, Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect, and now he turned into a bad guy. How do you feel about that again, Ranting with Ricardo?
Hold on. But tell you, is it lighting? Got my smudge stick because you done brought that man up. Okay. Ooh. Mm-mm.
Ranting with Ricardo, why not create some short shows on YouTube? Ooh, that'd be
Got
nice because you
ooh
definitely have a creative mind.
bad juju all up and through. You done brought that man up, Kyreese. Why? They got
Wait,
me.
what's wrong with John Cena?
Every time.
He turned on Sunday, no Saturday. We had a pay-per-view called Elimination Chamber,
Mhm.
and he won by basically screwing CM Punk over after Seth Rollins did that one. Usually John Cena, the type of character he is, he would have helped CM Punk back up and then fought him for a fair fight finish, but
Mhm.
he just took advantage and he won just like anybody else would, any great collar person would do. But after that, he teamed up with The Rock and they beat the hell out of Cody Rhodes. So Cody
I
Rhodes is a massive fan favorite in wrestling right now.
I
So
already. His name is Codarius Homelander Rhodes. We have yet to have him live up to that middle name, but John Cena, you you picked you picked an opportune time to go ahead and turn heel. 7,000 some odd days of you being a babyface. You have yet to be a heel since 2003. You chose to turn heel. Did you have to do it with The Rock? Did you have to, like,
no,
really?
I feel he did have to do that with The Rock because The Rock is one of the biggest stars in the worldwide. I'm sure, like even a non-wrestling fan, I'm sure you know who The Rock is, right, Albert? Of
What?
course. So
Yeah.
Yes.
well, everybody knows who The Rock is. So I'm just saying you can't get much bigger of a story than that with this and that. And then Cody Rhodes, that could just make him a bigger star in the long run, working with John Cena. And he's think about it, all the stars that people said John Cena trampled over, whether backstage reports, whether whatever,
The shovel.
wouldn't put over, that John Cena overshadowed. Cody Rhodes was the one that made him turn into a bad guy. And all the people John Cena's worked with. That's
Listen,
a major accomplishment.
get the shovel. You know, the people said John Cena always had his shovel, and he would boom put you in the dirt. I I'm gonna just say this: do you not find it odd that we are living in this current moment where everybody is singing Randy Orton's entrance music, and he kind of like a baby face, and John Cena is the heel? What is going on? Do we live in the Twilight Zone?
I guess so.
Listen. While I will burn my sage and my smudge sticks whenever that man is brought up, I felt like this was the best way to do it. We've been waiting for him to turn heel. I said I thought he would turn heel when they drafted him to SmackDown back in like 2016, 2017, but it didn't happen. But he, he gonna be at home on SmackDown where he first started.
Kyrie, what's going on?
You
You
know
can't.
I'm in the hood. We always get signed.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine.
It's
That's just
you.
a nightly basis. LOL. But yeah, but I'm here for John Cena's heel turn. But now, but before but slightly moving on from that, let's talk about Beyond the Gates real quick with Kat and Eva today.
Ooh,
Yeah, before this episode, I could not stand Eva because I just thought I was like, who the hell does she think she is? I don't know, maybe. Well, this is gonna be vain and bad, but maybe maybe it was probably her hairdo. I'm not gonna lie, like maybe that's what it was prior to that. That just like she had like kind of like one of those rough bully personalities, like that I know that someone I probably wouldn't get along with at first. So, but
Mhm.
but after today, the way Kat was speaking to her, I really just wanted Kat to slap. The other way around for Eva to just slap the taste out of Kat's mouth, because like little girl, you got all this mouth, but you're the type if Eva
Eva.
was to if Eva was to snatch you up right now, what would your little ass do about it? You would be doing nothing but crying. She hit me. Oh my god! Like if Eva was to really just snatch you up right now. Now, Albert, what did you think about that scene? Because that just drove me nuts.
Yeah. After Ranting Ricardo answers her question, I got a question for her. But like in her reality, I was like, boo, you're just privileged. You know what I'm saying? Like you sitting there looking at her clothes and everything like that. And I'm like, boo, like you just come across as a privileged prick. As much as I don't like Jocelyn, I'm like, boo, you actually look like 1,000 times worse. So
Yeah, I didn't like because when she came in, I was like, okay, you clocked her because she's going through the desk and she's sitting up here lying. So I get that you like your intuition is telling you she's shady AF. Can't trust her. I couldn't get what you talk about her clothes because I was like, I actually like this outfit. Now them boots,
Exactly.
now the boots she was right about. Them boots was ugly. Okay, she wasn't lying about them boots. Them boots was ugly. Y'all know y'all could have put her in a different boot, but it was like, the privilege is very much showing.
hmm
And when she's talking to Dana Leslie, whatever that lady crazy. Her mama crazy. When she was talking to her, she was like, she's just so da 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 da, and you're finally gonna get your birthright and what you deserve, and there's nothing they could do about it. I was like, obviously, there's a portion of this that Eva and Dana slash Leslie are missing that I keep trying to drive home. Even if Ted was not the father of Martin and Kat, they're still Dupree's by birth. They was always gonna be good. It's not the fact that Ted is their father that has that air of I'm above you. It's the fact that I'm a Dupree that I feel like I'm above you, and we've grown up in this bubble in the gates. We've been in this bubble for so long.
Hmm. Oh yeah, and ranting. Now I see. Um, Tommy asked, "Why don't you post a Y&R review?" There
Um, Listen, I talk about the Young and the Restless, but I don't have the time to see Nikki on my screen.
we go. That makes two of us, because I'm just saying, it was rough today having to watch Nikki Newman today. Who Albert's gonna say? Oh, what do you mean talking about that? What are you gonna call her? I'll let you say it since you're on screen. Go call her what you call her.
radiant,
There you go.
radiant
You see
with
what I'm
an
gonna do
capital R.
with?
Oh.
The radiant the it's like you see my Pepto Bismol's all the way over there. Don't make me have to go over there to go get that Pepto
I
Bismol.
wouldn't call her radiant. I would call her a rat, a rodent,
I'm just saying.
raggedy,
Now,
trifling.
getting into the Young and the Restless, didn't Nikki get on your nerves a little bit today with her usual snotty attitude with Diane talking about, oh yeah, here to, she was salty about Diane having privilege to remodel the Abbott house. I'm like, Nikki, what do you know about style? Look at what her outfit she had on. I'm like, you know what?
I'm confused. What's the problem with Diane remodeling the Abbott house? It needs to be remodeled. We ain't touched that set since 1854. It's time to move on. You need new wallpaper, new furniture, fix the staircase, get some light up in there. All the furniture is just dark. Maybe that's why all their family members just keep, going to the upper room because all y'all furniture is just ugh, look like a.
And because of the furniture. What would you want to see for the Abbott mansion, Albert, if they remodeled it in your image? Well, then again, I don't know if I really should ask you that, given that curtain, I mean that blanket that you always be rocking. So I don't really know about your style now. I don't know if I should be
That's like Drake. Don't listen to him. Don't let him talk about you and your. stuff like that.
But I'll still hear you out anyways. What would you remodel the Abbott mansion to look like?
So just to let you know, Ranting with Ricardo, like Kyreese is pretty much like a brother to me. So that's why we go back and forth, and that's why he's probably the only person that can sit there and say stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. I'm so used to how the set is. I can't imagine it changing that much.
Oh
You know?
God, Jack Abbott has worn off on you. Come on, that
We're
mansion needed to
wait.
be
So
remodeled since 1915.
Albert, you said we've gotten used to the Abbott mansion looking like the inside of a funeral parlor waiting room. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I
Oh,
kind of like how it is, but I mean, I'm cool for the change, but
I'm down for the change. You know what? Somebody go take a look at the nanny set. Go take a look at the nanny's living room, like what their living room look like, where it's just like really bright. Brighten it up. Just brighten it up.
yeah.
Y'all can keep the dark furniture, but at least brighten it up. The lights in themselves is just like,
too dumb.
yeah, it's like, okay, y'all vampires, y'all got coffins.
Facts.
Okay. I guess so, but I don't listen. Nikki Nicole Stripperella, she couldn't tell me nothing. Sitting up there dressed like one of Janet Jackson's backup dancers from 1985. She couldn't speak to me.
Exactly. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I've been a long time fan of this character, but I'm gonna start this question with Albert. Do you feel the Sally Spectre character is still needed on the Young and the Restless?
See, the problem is like I haven't watched The Bold and the Beautiful that long, and I know that Bold and the Beautiful she was more fire. She had a little more of a wild streak to her. It made her a little more fun to watch, and they definitely tamed her down on The Young and the Restless to kind of like. Well, I don't even know why they really did that, but I heard greater stories from her being on B&B. So like maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea for her to go back to B&B. That's
Honestly,
she was at
because
her outset.
I wholly agree with you. I mean, even though it's the Bald and the Beautiful writing, so therefore she'd be saying the same dialogue for the next 8 weeks in a row.
Shout out to Kyreese. Shout out to Kyreese. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I did. I actually played that in my member stream yesterday because I had
I
to
was
do
there for that.
it.
I
What
was
you
there for a lot of things, but I was there for that though.
said? Oh, you were there for. Oh, so you were there yesterday in the background, of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wasn't gonna be
Oh,
there.
Um, but but yeah, I called out the actor playing Luna when she was on the Michael Fairman channel, and I said, "Well, Bald and the Beautiful must be the easiest job in the world, given the same repetitive dialogue every single day."
He
And
gonna get
then
that woman fired. He gonna get that woman fired.
You about to make that lady lose her job. Don't do that.
she responded in kind. She was like, "Yep." She asked the producers that herself, and they told her because people don't always watch every day that that's why they say the same lines over and over and over again because not everybody tunes in. I'm like, are you kidding me? If that is not lazy, I don't know what is.
Listen,
Okay.
I figured out a long time ago that they was not gonna hire me down there to the Bold and the Beautiful. I told y'all I could have fixed everything that happened down there, but I talk bad about Brooke anyway, so they definitely not gonna call me. Um, the dialogue is repetitive. My auntie was watching, like catching up on Beyond the Gates. And she called me. She was like, "Who's these people?" I was like, "You're watching The Bold and the Beautiful." She was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "Yes, you are." She was like, "That's why I didn't know him." I was like, "Exactly." But the dialogue is repetitive. It's so it gives me Tyler Perry when he's writing all of his scripts. Leave. I'm
He's
leaving.
worse than Tyler Perry at this point.
I mean, I didn't want to say nothing. But Bold and Beautiful has their fans. Tyler Perry has his fans. Everybody got their fans that watch the show. Everybody happy. Hallelujah, want to do it. But you gonna make that lady gonna get fired fooling around with you. She,
But Albert, what did you? But now, what do you seen that you saw the clip of what her response was? What do you think about the Bald and the Beautiful's process with that? Give your honest take.
I mean, here's the thing. I get where they're coming from, but like I feel, and the thing is, Nathaniel said the same thing, so I get where they're coming from. Like if I just came in and I started watching, I didn't know what was going on. you know, if you're really like 60 or whatever, you can't sit there. They don't know. Some people don't know how to use the internet, so I get that, but it's just bad. Like it's just lazy writing. There needs to be a better process than just saying the same. Because she literally sat there and said, "Hey, I just say the same thing, but just in a different way." I'm like, she was sitting there cracking up, and she was probably sitting there saying like, "I can't believe that mofo just sit there and ask me that question, and now I gotta sit there and be real and lie for like about like 500 people." I'm gonna get that girl fired.
You are. Because listen, if I say the same thing, but I have to, you know, say it in a different way to kind of get this inflection across. We know that happens, but for it to be an everyday thing, it's kind of lazy. People who are, more experienced. I don't call them old. I call them more experienced. They're really up there in the experience. They got grandchildren. They got neighbors. They got cousins. Somebody gonna come over there and put the Paramount Plus on for them. Boom, watch this, or it's recorded on the DVR. They know how to record their DVR. If I have to listen to the same thing over and over and over again, I'm tuning out.
My thing is, okay, like if they did that, okay, maybe one scene, or why not just put a daily recap, a daily flashback to previously on The Bold and the Beautiful. Just do that on a day-to-day basis. There you go.
They do
You
that
know,
for Bates. They do that for the Young and the Restless.
You know what I would sit there and say? I would sit there and be like, do it like a comic book. You know what I'm saying? Like put like a couple of speech patterns at the top or whatever. Or just in the beginning to sit there and kind of catch people up or whatever. Or even as the episode is playing, put like that there so this way people can sit there and read it instead of them just wasting time saying the same thing over and over again. I feel like that would be a lot better. And, people always sit there and talk about, capturing and, you know, I don't know. I just feel like that would just be a lot better if they like put like bubble speeches or whatever.
Facts. And then more on the Young and the Restless. Were you Team Adam or Team Billy today? I'll start with Ranting with Ricardo.
Now you don't have to tell me what happened because I didn't catch it. I took a nap. Okay, it snowed here. It was trash day. I had to get up early and deal with that. So what happened with? Because I didn't catch them. What they do? They always up to something.
Adam and Billy were just going back and forth having the piston contest because basically, to summarize it up, Adam was salty that Billy got his own media company going up and he feels it's just going after him and blah 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 blah. Just like I just felt like I was honestly, even though we all know that Billy is secretly still going after Chancellor, we know that, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like Adam, get the hell over it. Like
Okay.
what do y'all expect that man to do? You expect him to be your punching bag? Like there's only but so much you could push somebody before they push back on you. So I do not feel bad for Adam one bit. Even if Billy did, well, first of all, I highly doubt that Billy will end up succeeding. But even if he did, I'm just like, I'm cool with it though. Like even at the expense, I can't believe it. Like at one point, I used to be a hardcore Adam fan. Those days are long over right now because I'm really not liking the writing for his character lately. Hi Shakira.
Hello. Okay, so based off what you just told me, first and foremost, always expect Billy to fail. Okay, we have no faith in that white man. No faith. Always expect him to fail. Why? Because he self sabotages himself. He either gonna get back into gambling, he either gonna get back into drinking, he gonna either start sleeping with somebody that is not his significant other when he trying to make that whole thing work out with whoever he trying to work it out with.
Right now it's
Always expect Billy to fail. Adam, you upset about Billy?
pretty much he was just having a jealous pissing contest.
They always gonna have beef over the Delia thing. I still don't think he actually did hit that child. I'm on the belief that it wasn't him. It was somebody set him up. Okay, but they're always going to be in conflict and have beef over what happened to Delia, which is understandable. Can't be mad about that. Super understandable. But Adam, get over it. He got a media company. 9 times out of 10, he gonna drive it into the ground. No faith in that white man whatsoever. He self sabotages himself at every single turn. No faith. Adam,
Now,
I
Albert, what did you think about that?
honestly, tell you the truth, I wasn't team either one of them because they just felt like a bunch of high school kids and that they're arguing over nothing. Um, and based off the history of the people that y'all watched, I'm like, if you know he's gonna fail, you keep Smith saying he's gonna fail. Why are you engaging with him? I feel like that's just way too much energy that I'm gonna sit there and expend towards a failure.
Exactly. I
It's
couldn't agree more.
based off of the way you deduce that argument. It's white man versus white man. Who gonna outwhite each other at this point? Don't nobody care. Both of y'all spoiled brats who, well, both are spoiled brats. The only difference is Adam didn't have everything handed to him, unlike Billy. Fight it out. Let them fight. Whoever wins, wins.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of what Albert usually always says. At the end of the day, you're both still rich, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really matter. He said, like, therefore, y'all don't have to worry about not having money for rent money or
Y'all
food on your table. Like, y'all don't have to worry about really regular. Like, that's one thing that I feel across the board or all five soap operas, they struggle to create relatable characters. Everyone has to automatically be rich, and then they're
don't.
just bitching about these CEO titles that in reality take someone 15 years, 15 to 20 years to get that to even get an interview for those jobs, let alone receive the jobs and work for it. But they all get handed that, and they're not happy with that. Oh, why am I COO instead of CEO? Why am I head of marketing instead of the? I wanted to be the co-owner. Why am I like that's
This
just that's
some
seriously what they're like. They're just a bunch of Karens. So it's like really
right.
unrelatable.
But some of my favorite moments, and I don't know about y'all, but I know about me. Some of my favorite moments from General Hospital was the Quartermains and all the infighting they used to have over them ELQ shares. Where is that? I need more of that because that was hilarious. Edward was always doing something.
Tommy Smith, I had a question for you, Randy. He said, "Why the white man? Why not just Billy?" He said he just
Why?
had to ask.
Well, that's the listen. I would have called him by his name, but that was the first thing that popped into my head. That's the first thing. I can't lie to you. It's the first thing that came in my head. Billy was there, but then the white man came, tumbling out.
Rosemary still believes it was Nikki that hit Billy with the because Nikki was the one that was drinking and driving that night. By the way, I know Albert wasn't watching it around that time, but around that time, Nikki was actually drinking and driving that night. So
I I agree with that, and I think Adam took the fall for it. I think you know. I said Nina looks like a sad basset hound. I got to add her sister Nikki into it too. Okay, I think Nikki hit Delia with that car and blamed Adam. It was more plausible. Everybody hated Adam at the time.
that is true. They still do.
Yeah, they still do. And if we're being honest, Nikki has always hated Adam because that was a child made out of love. Victor truly did love Hope. And the only reason they didn't work out is because,
Hope didn't want it to.
right, she left him. And you had to, realize that the only reason why Victor came back to you is not because Victor left Hope, but Hope left him and took the kid that they had together that he truly did. Like he wanted that kid. Stop playing with the people. She's always hated that, and she's always hated Adam. She's going to continuously hate Adam. And it's just like, well, it seems like a you problem. And I would tell you to get therapy, but that might end up, and this is going to sound so mean. This might end up with her crawling back into a bottle. You know what? I said it. I don't care. She get on my nerves.
Drink up, Nikki. Drink up.
She always do.
Um, and now back to Beyond the Gates. This first question is for Albert. How long will Bill and Haley last as a couple? Do you say?
I would sit there and say maybe about 2.5 months, and that's being generous.
And do you believe that the viewers will forgive Haley after her and Bill split? And do you see Haley as a long-term character arc or a short-term character arc?
I'll tell you what, because I want her to be a long term, they're gonna give her a short term. Because I want it, the universe is gonna sit there and be like, yeah, you know what, Albert wants it, so we're gonna give her a short term. That's what I believe.
Oh.
How about you, Ranting with Ricardo? Do you think Haley's long-term or short-term?
Um, how many more months do we have until November?
Oh Lord have mercy.
No, really, I'm weighing these storylines that we have so far. I'm weighing them out by what I feel like will get wrapped up by May and what will get wrapped up by November. Haley and Bill will get wrapped up by November, and we might carry them into the next year for the 1 year anniversary. Is when she drops the bomb on him, because I'm like, she can't be this damn dumb. She can't be this damn dumb to be with him, especially because look at, I don't know, maybe it's the actress, but look at the way. Go back and watch the episode, the press conference, the way she was standing there and she was looking so indignant and on my face. And I was like, something ain't right with that. I want her to run Bill's pockets. I want her to be his karma. She's either going to be his karma or he's going to dog her out worse than he ever did Daddy.
That's true. And
But I
do either one of you think Danny and Bill are going to get back together at some point throughout this series? How about
unless
you, Albert?
Yeah.
Probably at some like that's what I'm fearing, that down the line that there'll be and then I could see like Naomi being angry with Danny for taking Bill back and threatening to disown her for that and stuff like that. I could see that going down like that.
I had to think about it for a second. I felt like they'll end up back together, but it won't be a situation of, "Ooh, I love you, I want you back." It'll be something like he has something on the family,
Mm-hmm.
and Danny will feel like for the good of the family, child, they are very much giving Fast and Furious. Okay, Dominic Toretto, for the
Hi,
good of
Jacqueline.
the night, for the good of the family, I have to do this, and it's going to be a situation of, "Oh, I hate your guts, and I'm going to try every single day to do something to you to get you up out of my life." I could see that happening.
All right. And Ron asked me a question. Ron said, Kyreese, I want your opinion on Joy being pregnant and not to mention to Alex. That's funny because I did have that question written down for y'all too at some point, but might as well get into that. I feel like Joy is not really an interesting enough character to really give a tie to the Kyriakis. I mean, like, didn't she's already Chloe's little sister. I mean, like, Alex and Stephanie literally just got back together 5 seconds ago, and now you want to put this child on them. But I'm also feel like there could be a chance that down the line that she might end up giving this baby to Johnny and Chanel. I don't know, like maybe Chloe's gonna end up leaving for a while, or something happens to her, and then she's gonna not want Alex to have the baby and something. Or I could see Johnny, or maybe like Johnny taking the baby and doing a similar story to what we just went through with Nicole and Salone. I wouldn't put it past Days to pull something like that. But what do you think about that pregnancy, Albert? Potential pregnancy.
The only reason why I'm with it is because people always sit there and say, like, we want to see the next generation of characters, new characters, young characters. Joy is a pretty young character. And
Mm.
so if they're gonna sit there and keep her on the show and they want to sit there and have fresh faces, I think this is probably the way to go about it. So like I'm cool with her being pregnant. Yes, it's a little fast, but we gotta get that scandal in earlier. We gotta get that scandal in now to sit there and try to establish something. So if they're keeping Alex or Robert, the actor, might as well.
And then Ranting with Ricardo, what do you think about Chloe's pregnancy?
Joy or Chloe?
I mean, yeah, Joy. Sorry, Joy.
I'm for it. When you think like history, so much plays into this. The Kyriakises were so adamant to make sure that Chloe and Brady never had any kids, and then they were also adamant that Chloe and Philip never had any children. So now you got Elaine and the Kyriakis having a child together. This is gonna tie the family together forever, and then you're just gonna see just how just downright despicable the Kyriakises are going to get when it comes to this potential baby.
I
Now,
agree.
oh, them getting back together thing. Now that's gonna be messy.
That's true. Now, also with Days, while we're on Days of Our Lives, another question that I had is, what do you think of Rachel, Miss Black, and no, Miss Blake and Kristen and EJ getting away with their latest crimes? Like, I've Like, I'm gonna start with my own opinion first. I'm very disappointed that Rachel's not getting punished for her actions this time. Like, oh, well, we're not gonna prosecute a 9-year-old girl. Why not? There's juvenile detention centers for a reason, okay? I just feel that Rachel cannot just keep getting away with what she thinks she could get away with. Like, I get that Kristen is a problem, and Belle and all the other ones, they don't like Kristen, so it's easy for them to blame Kristen automatically for Rachel's behavior. But no, Rachel should be nipped in the bud. Like, you just were complicit in that kidnapping, as far as I'm concerned. I would have loved if all of them got punished. And Kristen just basically used Rachel as a pawn to get out of jail when Rachel's a problem to begin with. So I'm just really annoyed with that. Like, I knew they weren't gonna beat Rachel with a belt the way I wanted them to. I knew that was out of the question. But like, if it was up to me, I'm just saying this belt right here would do. I'm just saying, I'd be like, Rachel, get over here. Did not tell you. I'm just saying, I might not be playing with no Rachel. Like, look, that is how I feel about that. But what about you, Albert? How did you feel?
I mean, personally, I think that Rachel probably be better off in the foster care system as opposed to being with either one of them. Yes, Kristen is clearly more the problem since she does spend more time with Kristen, but it's very clear that that child is not doing good in that environment. And yeah, on some level, I do think that Rachel should suffer some sort of consequences. But like ultimately, I'm like maybe she kind of better off in the foster care system because that home is clearly no good for her.
And how about you, Ranting with Ricardo?
I would give her away at birth.
Yeah,
Damn. Well, technically, she was switched out at birth. Remember that with the whole Sarah thing, and she was raised by Sarah and whoever else for the first few years, or first
I,
Xander.
Xander. Yeah,
that's not. He's not no good role model either.
he sure ain't.
I
But
would listen. I would have gave her away at birth. I would have. At 9 years old and pulling the things she pulled. You know, juvenile detention centers. They look real nice this time of year for career criminals. Because that's what she gonna turn out to be. Look at who her family is. That's a career criminal in the making.
she's
And I'm
gonna be
telling you, it's
a career serial killer too. Shit, she's gonna have more bodies on her than Helena Cassidy. Watch.
something. If somebody come up missing, if somebody get hurt, if somebody get ran over, broken ankle, broken leg, Rachel did it.
Mhm. See, Albert, the main reason why I don't want them to have Amy Troy's grandbaby is because of Rachel Black. I mean, Rachel Brady. That is the main reason I feel she would have a lot of access to that child, and that child wouldn't stand a chance with Rachel in his life.
And
So,
listen, I don't want to.
see Tate run like well, then again, he would be connected to Rachel anyways because that's his
His
aunt.
little.
So, yeah,
I
that's his aunt, the baby's aunt.
yeah. Listen, when it comes down to it, that child's a career criminal. She's already on her way to a life of crime. And if y'all add a new baby into the mix, she either is going to try to take that child out or she's going to have an accomplice in all her crimes. They gonna be the crime. What they won't even be a crime fighting duo. They just gonna be a tag team. Okay, we tag team in crime at this point. You go kidnap this person. I'll build the bunker room to keep them in.
True. And then Albert, what did you think about Ava slapping Kristen today? I'm not gonna lie, that was satisfying to watch. I don't even like Ava, but that was a satisfying scene to watch. With Kristen walking in with that ice pack on her face. I'm like, well,
So
that's the very least. But what did you think?
I thought it was soapy. I thought it was soapy. I mean, Ava being upset that, she can't get Kristen behind jail. On some level, I think it's kind of stupid because I don't even understand how is Kristen gonna go to jail. Like, yeah, she saw Ava, but she didn't kidnap Ava. She just saw the crime. It was like, okay, I ain't gonna help you out there. So how are you putting her in jail for something that she didn't actually do? You know?
Yeah, an accessory law though for that specific, but
Yeah, and you're right.
I
it's
mean, but with the accessory charge, she wouldn't be in there for long with her connections.
true. I
Yeah.
mean, they had Dimitri on how many charges, and then a few months later, Salone said, "Oh yeah, we're releasing him from prison." So
Mm. And think about this: every time Kristen had supposed to go to prison, she managed to maneuver her way up out of it. They haven't built a prison or a jail that will keep Kristen DeMira locked up long enough.
Or Jordan, for that matter, if we're gonna be honest.
That I don't know. The police department in Genoa City is
it
Police
y'all
sucks.
department is one person.
obviously one person. And who is that one person?
Chance. That's about it.
He's a terrible cop. He's terrible.
Mhm. But
You know
before
what?
we get to Bald and the Beautiful, let's get back to Beyond the Gates real quick on your thoughts on Ashley and Derek, starting with Albert.
I feel bad for Derek because I know that she gonna sit there and be knocking boots with Andre. So I know that that's gonna happen, and it's sad because the dude seemed like he's a genuine good guy, which nice guys finish last.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. And now Ranting with Ricardo, what do you think about them?
I think he should have got left for them dry waffles he made on her first day. But that's just me. Don't give me no dry waffles. What no butter, no syrup, no nothing. But I felt bad for him. I felt, and I know I'm laughing, but I felt so bad for him when they was like, "Oh, look at the baby." Yeah, I want to take a picture of y'all for her baby book. And Andre just, I call him Baby Lorenz Tate because that's what he gave me. He gave me a Baby Lorenz Tate. He just put his arm on, wrapped his arm around her, and I was like, "Oh, look at the little family." And Derek, you ain't nowhere in here. I was like, Derek, see it. The writing is on the wall. Derek, the writing is on the wall. He gonna take your woman, okay? Not take your man. He about to take your girl. He
Mhm.
sees it, and Ashley doesn't see it. But I was like, Derek sees it. I see it. Y'all see it. The nosy nurse down to the hospital see it.
That
It was
nosy nurse is starting to grow on me though. At first, I didn't like her. I didn't like her, but now I'm starting to see she is cute. So I'm just saying, she do look good.
she okay. So y'all know how we were talking about the Bold and the Beautiful having repetitive writing.
Hmm.
She's actually a great, like, the nurse down to the Beyond the Gates is a great plot device because she catching everybody up on what you missed. She'd be
Yeah,
like, "Okay, girl, let me tell you this. Danny then went crazy down to the wedding, but I would have went crazy too if it was me. And you ain't gonna believe what happened with so and so's husband, and you're not gonna believe this and believe that." She's a great plot device to catch people up on what they've missed.
I didn't actually think about
I
that
didn't
until
think
you said
about that
that.
either. See, this is why they need to hire her right here. This is why she keeps saying that. I'm just saying that was
Y'all need somebody down to, like, for the Bold and Beautiful. Y'all need somebody down to Forrester, whatever they're calling it now. The
an
hopeless is.
assistant be like, oh yeah, well, because I heard Hope is mad with Carter because he was kissing Daphne, which we're gonna get into momentarily.
But
After I'm finished talking about Beyond the Gates, but then blah 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 blah. Well, like, so you
girl,
see,
let me go. I see her. I see her come down. Her tacky ass coming down the hallway. Let me go. I'll call you later. They can do something like that. She's a great
exactly.
to keep people to, like, help them remember or just update them on what did you miss, what have you forgotten, what's going on.
Hmm. And then, do you want to see Leslie punished for almost killing Laura?
Girl, she got to get got for. Laura ain't did nothing but want to go lay on the beach with her cheeks out with her man. That's all she wanted to do. She can't even do that. She gonna be laid up for 6 weeks. And I thought that Eva, I was like, Eva's putting it together. Okay, Eva, you put it together. Don't let her lie to you. But ooh, that gaslighting, that manipulation came out strong today.
Now, Albert,
Gaslight.
do you want to see Leslie punished for that?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I want to keep her around because she seems like she can be a great villain now. So, you know, or
Oh
just let it be out
Lord,
there with her gaslighting. You'll
Ron,
never.
Ron will be Ron. This
Oh,
he said. Kyrie's question for Ranting with Ricardo: if she wants Sheila Carter to be pregnant, Ron just got to be Ron.
God, no. Listen, I said, because somebody mentioned like when I was live for Beyond the Gates, they were like, Leslie reminds them of Sheila. And I was like, the only difference is somebody understood that before Sheila could get her hooks into her children and really like gaslight and manipulate like she did to Eva today, they want to snatch them kids away from Sheila. Sheila don't need to have no more kids. Sheila don't need no more kids. Sheila can't take care of the kids she got now. Her granddaughter down there in Genoa City doing the absolute most. Where's Daisy, Sheila? Where's Daisy?
Where's all of them other ones? You act like Sheila act like she only got one child. Like that's why like it's laughable when people say, "Oh yeah, the redeemed Sheila's not working for me." I'm like, Sheila's never been redeemed. She's still a delusional dingbat. She acts like Finn is the only child she got when she knows she
She has
has many other children.
and grandchildren. That's what's crazy about this thing with the whole Sheila. Sheila has multiple children all over the world and multiple grandchildren, but she's honing in on Finn because he's a connection to the Foresters. Because in reality, Eric is the only man. She'd tell y'all this herself that she's only truly ever loved.
True. And then is Martin too controlling on Beyond the Gates? Because what's the problem with his husband wanting to get back in the workforce? I mean, their kids are some teenagers now. So what's the problem? I'll start with Albert.
It's definitely a bit controlling. It's like you want to stay at home dad or whatever. You want to stay at home parent, but it's like, bro, you out there sitting there living your dream and doing what you find passionate. Why can't you allow him to do the same thing?
Exactly. Um, Ranting with Ricardo, what'd you think about that?
First of all, Smitty ain't loyal. We can't trust him. He got shifty eyes. I sink them eyes. Them eyes just a little bit shifty. But I feel like if your kids is grown and you're looking for the next chapter of your life, he should be able to get back to his career. Like you didn't have to give up your career to raise the children. He did. That's what he did. And maybe he made that choice all by himself. But what you want him to do? Sit at home and do nothing? Spend up all the Dupree money? What? What is he supposed to do? If I was Smitty, I take a little Dupree money and start my own little blog or website or something. Do
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah, you because the thing is, you saw exactly what happens when you have too much time on your hand and you don't have somebody sitting there taking, being with you like Vanessa, who's out
Mm-hmm.
there, banging the trail, the trainer and everything like that, while, the husband's out there just doing his own thing, losing the family money and stuff and not being bothered with her. So,
Nasty. Let me tell you something. Nasty work. You gambling and losing money on the clock. You supposed to be at work. I thought he was like. I thought for sure this man was having an affair with somebody. Oh no, you have a gambling addiction, and you put that on your mama today.
mm,
Oh
mm,
no.
mm.
Oh
That
no.
is so trifling on so many levels.
It's so. And his friend said, "Don't you ever put that on your mama ever, kid. Your mama come down here and snatch you up." Vanessa definitely has too much time on her hands, but also Bill kind of had too much time on his hands as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, um, it wasn't like Danny was all up in his face. And I have a question. But it wasn't like Danny was all up in his face, but he kind of did have too much time on his hands. Is see where that got him. Vanessa got too much time on her hands. Is she banging the fitness instructor in a supply closet and enjoying it?
And then Ron says, ask Ranting with Ricardo if he wants 50-year-old Teresa with a 17-year-old boy named Aaron.
Ugh, ugh.
Exactly. Your
I
expression says it all.
call the police on her.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh,
Nicole is so fine. Yes, Nicole is fine. Absolutely.
so I have this question. What did y'all think about the flashback that we got of Bill and Danny after Naomi's wedding? Did that help y'all? Like, do you think it helped a lot of people understand why she's so angry?
You can go first, Kyrie.
Okay. To an extent, I understand because he did make all those promises to her. I get all that, but at the end of the day, I would get the hell over it at this point. I mean, this man treated you like worse than shit at this point. So like that wouldn't mean nothing to me at this point. Like I know, well, because I know me and I know my limits. Like there's no way. Like even if I did feel the way Danny felt with that, like I would be all about getting revenge on Bill or on Haley. Like the anger part is relatable, but that real emotion, like I feel like I'm the defensive type, so I'm gonna hide that hurt and betrayal that she's feeling, and I'm just gonna show a bunch of rage towards Bill and Haley. But after holding them both at gunpoint and getting away with it, like I think I would just I would let the sleeping dogs rest after that one because it would just be like, but I'm not about to be reminiscing about the good times with that son of a bitch after he screwed me over like that. But now, Albert, what did you think about that?
I get it. I mean, not only was she sit there married to that man since she was 19, but like she did a lot of sacrificing. And
Mm.
he acknowledged that. And he said, honestly, to tell you the truth, he said some very beautiful words. And so it just made it hurt even more. The fact that he acknowledged that, and then he's in your face and talk about, oh, I didn't say this, I didn't say that. You didn't help me get to this way. I can see, like, I don't condone the violence, but I understand how you can get to that point because that's something that's ingrained for you since you was 19. Like, no person would ever think that they would beg somebody back, obviously. But when you're 19 and you had that plan, yeah, that's not something you could just generally shake off.
But I
Mm-mm.
do agree with Gemini here when she said anger comes time invested. Like that is true. The
Yeah.
time invested too, though. Now that
When they played for me, is like when they played the flashback, I was like, oh, this is why. Because it's like Danny kept repeating, I did this for you. I did that for you. My family did this for you. I gave up so much for you. And he just kept throwing in her face, like, you didn't do anything for me. Those were choices you made. Your family didn't help me do anything. And then we get this flashback, and it's like, you gave up so much. You could leave me and still be good if you wanted to. And that lady pledged her life to you again and said, no, I'm in this with you. And you promised that lady that this new chapter of y'all lives were going to be different, that you were going to be better, that you were going to repay her greatly for everything she sacrificed for you. I'm pledging always and forever. And then you flip the script and it's just like things only things go the way Bill want them to go. If Bill wants to be happy with Danny, Bill will be happy with Danny. If Bill wants to drag Danny through the mud, make her feel like the lowest of the low, that is what he's going to do because that's what fits his narrative.
true. He
Honest,
is definitely a textbook narcissist. That's for sure.
honestly, I would love to see. I don't think they'll do this, but I would love to see. And it popped up in my head. Leslie and Bill,
Oh God, God help us all.
they would try to destroy each other. I would
And the
enjoy.
world around them.
Yes, I was like, if I would love to see that, just for the simple fact that they would legitimately try to put an end to one another. But I do have a question. Do y'all think Bill's employees are thirsty to get behind the gates? Because Caroline was just so adamant. I want to be your maid of honor. I'm your friend, and it's like, girl, you just
Caroline's the Asian one, right?
yeah. I was like, girl, you just trying to get behind the gates to be down to the club. You
Well,
don't really.
but hey, I'm not mad at those employees. Times is tough. They're trying to get in them good graces, get them promotions, get their
Exactly.
coins up. So I ain't mad at them. So all
Hard.
these rich snobs want to make a fool of themselves. Hell yeah, I want that. I want that extra money. Hey, they ain't got a nickel in that quarter. So outside of that crap, they ain't worried about Danny and her feelings like the rest of those rich snobs in towns are. So after that, they got rent to pay. So I'm here for them.
Yeah, times are very hard. Um, Also something beyond the gates. I wonder what Bill's relationship is really like with those daughters.
Well, Naomi don't want nothing to do with him, and
Yeah, it's
Chelsea still has a soft spot for him, but
the way he shut her down though at the press conference when Danny apologized to her because she was like, "I know you think this is your fault, but it's not." And she was trying to tell him she didn't tell me to record. I was recording way long before that, and he just shut her down. I was like, I wonder if this is, when it comes to their characters, is this a regular thing where he just shuts Chelsea down instead of allowing her to explain her thoughts, her feelings, and her actions?
Thank you so much, Jonathan, for the super chat. Jonathan said, "Do you think Danny and Andre will be just a fling, or will it turn into a serious relationship?" It's definitely going to be a fling right now, Jonathan, because Dan. I mean, Andre is heading Ashley's direction, so he ain't gonna have long term time for Danny. And then as far as Danny's concerned, we all know she's for she's still for Bill, or there's gonna be somebody else that comes in town for her eventually. But there's no way Danny and Andre are gonna be anything other than a fling. But it would be interesting if after if they get cheated on again, and maybe Danny will end up with Derek for a little while. We'll see if
Maybe.
that will happen because I could see it going down that route. He's a rebound relationship, and Danny's not as invested in Andre as whatever. So once Andre leaves with Thing, Danny could sympathize with Derek about how she just got her heart broken too. Andre couldn't break her heart because he never had it, unlike
No,
Bill did. So they could bond about that, and then they could end up an unlikely couple. I could see something like that playing out.
I could see that happening. Them being an unlikely couple.
Mm.
I figure somebody gonna get Derek. To me, I don't know about y'all, but Derek is not that attractive to me. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Oh no, you're not the only one. I've said the same thing. I was like, yeah, no.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just me. If Miss Ashley like it, I love it, girl.
But then
I,
again, Ashley kind of looks like Phineas from Phineas and Ferb. So if you type up Phineas from Phineas and Ferb and type up Ashley, you'll know that they look similar.
I'm not gonna take that bait because Ashley looks like somebody I know.
Doug's wife is a cheat. That is true. Vanessa was getting it in today.
Hmm. The way Diego grabbed up on her and she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh my god, don't let it be something like that." And then he was like, "Exactly what you want." About time. I said, "Oh no, y'all nasty in a supply closet or coof."
I'm just saying, they better had some fabuloso up in there. We need our fabuloso. You know, I
The
stay with my
price,
fabuloso.
I
price.
do, I do got a question though.
Hmm.
Uh,
So, like today, Jacob was meant to talking to his dad.
mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, and his dad was actually pretty light on him. He was disappointed that he felt like he didn't live up to the badge. He didn't sit there and arrest Danny or anything like that. And I'm just like, this is from Tommy then, in a sense. Do you think that Jacob should have arrested Danny, or do you think he should have just like, played his position as far as, the family role?
Um, no, I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't have arrested her because after that, Bill and Danny got what they was coming to. But in all seriousness, in real life situation, he would have had no choice but to arrest her. But I'm just saying. But for a soap opera, F it. I'm
I
here for him keeping silent about that. I wouldn't feel too guilty because the Dupree's got her out of it anyway. So it's like that is what that is. But I would make that clear that that's a one and done incident. If she tries that again, I'm gonna lock her up and throw away the key.
Mm.
and honestly, I thought he was being too hard on himself because it was like, were we watching the same thing? Like you was there, but were we watch like you jumped up, you told her to give you the gun, and when she told you no, you had to tell her, all right, now if you keep all these people up in this room, is with kidnapping charges. Like you were trying to defuse the situation. I think he was being too hard on himself, and I'm like his daddy. Be like the Beatles and let it be. Okay, you're being too hard on yourself. But they did say when it was his character description, he was going to go above and beyond for his job and get too invested.
And thank you again for another super chat, Jonathan. Jonathan said, how would you feel if Danny and Doug became a thing?"
Mm-mm.
I'm not here for that because there's no way we're gonna have the Duprees go bankrupt if we're effing with Doug over here because Doug be wasting way too much money. She already done wasted her life with one man. We not at least Bill kept his money invested somewhere, unlike Doug over here who got his little gambling problems. We're not about to be putting Doug on my girl Danny. Now, how you feel about that, Albert?
I'm sorry. No, that's yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not, if you have a gambling problem, you have a gambling problem, and that's sad. But like he does seem like he is a messy character, like because he does have a problem, and also he doesn't really sit there and spend any time with his wife. What makes you think he's gonna sit there and spend any time with Danny? He's too busy at the damn gambling table. So like that's just a waste right there.
Facts. Now, how about you, Ranting with Ricardo?
I'll burn down that set before I ever let that happen. God no. He
Well, you heard it. You heard it there, folks. She would rather burn down that set. I don't blame her though, because we not about to do my girl Danny like that. She might as well hook up with the ugly man. I don't care. Gotta do what
right.
you gotta do.
His wife was sitting there and telling him, "You don't spend no time with me." Like begging you for time. Like there's somebody like you can let other people take these cases, but then when we find out it's not about him being at work, which is why he don't spend time with her, it's really because he at them poker tables losing all their hard-earned money is why he don't spend no time with her. I was like, absolutely not, girl. If you gonna cheat. I can't be mad at you about this. Especially when he is about to probably go ask that lady for some money to go back to the poker tables.
Mm.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
I I do got a question for you though, Ranting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said this in my review. So you've been in relationships before, and what Vanessa did was she dropped a little shade, but it was shade like she was like, listen, you don't really, I haven't really seen you often, and it's kind of shade to be like, hey, listen, you need to sit there and do a better job as far as step up and spend more time with me. Have you felt like in any time when you were in a relationship that you kind of dropped shade, but it was more like, you're not doing this, and I hope you pick up on that?
No, I'm a pretty straightforward person.
Oh, okay.
I can't beat around the bush because I wouldn't want nobody to do that with me. Like if I don't feel like my time is like actually cared about or respected, like if I'm putting time into you and what you want and trying to be there for you, but you can't reciprocate that to me, I'm gonna tell you. And either things change or gotta go. Because at
And
the time should you be waiting on somebody to get their lives in order?
Ron asked if you want Jerry Prentice back on Days of Our Lives. I got a question for you. Now before you answer that, I got a question for you first. Ranting, who is Jerry?
Hold on. Because I was about to say, who's Jerry? Hold on, let me go. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna go down to the Google. Okay,
I'm
ask
done.
another question. I'm gonna go to the Google. I'm gonna figure out who Jerry is. Come back. Okay, hold on. Okay.
I'm dead. I don't even know who Jerry is.
I could
I
hold
love
on.
it.
Hello,
Hold
Al, but don't help her out here either.
Okay. I'm
Because
not.
I don't remember because we just we're gonna run with that. I don't know who Jerry is. Hello, Al. I have
Oh,
no
that
clue.
was somebody. Okay, I went down to the Google and found the Wikipedia, and Wikipedia has said that was someone who was hired to play Theo, Abe's son. He don't look like no Theo to me, but nah, y'all can keep him.
Well, now that you got that answer, Albert, do you want Jerry Prentice back on this?
Nope. And I know exactly who he is. Nope.
Hey, Darby, how are you? Happy Happy Wednesday.
Listen, who is Jerry? It's when it said Jerry, I was like, this reminds me of when my mom would be like, you know this person? That's your auntie. No, I don't. You met them before. No, I haven't. I don't know what you're talking about. Too many
Cla-
cousins. Too many cousins.
Classic Ron.
What'd you say?
That's a classic Ron. Classic Ron. Never failed to disappoint.
Never ever.
Listen,
But
shout out to
um, but now the only side character who should be the star of Days that I'm here for was Rita. Is Rita? Okay, now Rita.
What?
She.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What about Wendy? Oh, what about Wendy?
Well, what about Wendy? I mean, she's gone now, so like, why do I gotta clamor for Wendy to come back? I mean, now if Wendy comes back, I'll support her, but like, I'm just saying the show has to go on. I mean, she's been gone for a year now, so
I
yeah.
thought she carried the show though.
What?
I thought Wendy carried the show. She
I
literally.
mean, she did when she was around, but what's she doing for me lately? She hasn't been doing that for me lately. Now she gotta step it up. I mean, I'm just saying, like Amy Choi has now taken her place. Now, I mean, who would you rather have, Amy Choi or Wendy Shin? I'm just saying, I want Amy Choi right now.
I'm gonna take Amy for 100, Alex.
The actor who played Jerry was the actor who played Theo as a child. Um,
Ah,
and thank you again, Jonathan. But yeah, that is actually true, though. He did used to play Theo, even though that was long before my time of watching Days of Our Lives. Because I only really started watching Days of Our Lives when someone was insisting on watching Days. I mean, and I'm talking every single shrimp. Well, watch Days of Our Lives. Watch it. I mean, he said that at least 20 to 50 times a stream. And I'm not even exaggerating too, because you really got to watch Days of Our Lives, Days of Our Lives, Days of Our Lives, and then I watched an episode. I'm like, it's all right, but then he still kept promoting it and still kept promoting it until he finally wore me down, and I started watching it.
love
But
it. And now I love it.
oh yes, but I love Melinda Trask now. Melinda Trask,
Yeah.
yes, I love that woman. Okay, I need more of her too. But actually, no, that's Ron's woman. Ron told me to back up off of Melinda Trask a long time ago.
You don't want to do that. You don't want that smoke.
No, 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 thank you. No,
Ron's woman,
Ron told me to back off. I'm gonna back off.
that's Ron's woman. Your woman is Audra.
Absolutely. I'm
You
just saying, I would absolutely have Audra Charles everywhere, every single way. That woman is
you stick,
gorgeous.
stick to Audra. You leave Belinda alone.
I'm just saying, Audra Charles is all that and 10 bags of chips with a whole bottle of with a $10,000 bottle of champagne. I'm just saying, she got to go on.
All right. I just want to sit there and take a second to sit there and just remind people like Kyrie Clark was a huge Adam fan. Let me tell you something. If I said anything remotely slightly off about Adam, it was not going to be a good stream of Kyrie's. And now he's the dog of General City.
A
He's
low down, dirty,
yeah,
cheating dog.
yeah, exactly.
That he sure is. I'm just saying, when he broke Sally's heart, he stole every last bit of interest that was left in Sally. I blame it on Adam now. So now that we're stuck with boring ass Sally, it's Adam's fault. So therefore, he just wanted to topple her off. At this point, she should have stayed with that self righteous son of a bitch, Nick Newman. At this point,
Ugh.
like, she should have just stayed with Nick. What's the point? Adam just treated her like a low down, dirty, cheating.
Love Nick Newman. You stop
Uh,
it.
Nick, uh, Nick
Now,
stayed.
finally, we're gonna finally start talking about the bald and the beautiful, because I actually did sit through today's episode. Oh God, the whole. Let me start with Hope and Carter. Ooh, I still got the headache from Hope and Carter today. Oh my God, Hope especially. Does Hope have short term amnesia? Because unless if I'm in a different world, I don't think it was really that long ago when, let's see, there was a little trip to Paris, and who kissed who right there, and who had to see that? Let me see. Didn't Liam have to see Hope kissing Thomas over there in Paris, Miss High and Mighty?
I mean, he
So
did. I mean, it happened, but she is Brooke's child.
I'm just saying, but she's a whole hypocrite. Like at the end of the day, her and Carter ain't married. On top of that, you were married, and you did that with Thomas right there in Liam. After Thomas killed my Emma Barber, number one, Emma Barber would still be alive if it wasn't for Thomas. I'm not going to let anybody forget that, okay? So therefore, I'm tired of people giving Thomas Forrester a pass. He's a murderer. He should be in jail for the rest of his life. But Hope knew that, and she still got with him anyways, that scumbag. But yeah. She don't get no sympathy from me. Did she get your sympathy, Albert? Did you open your heart for Hope Logan today? Because I damn sure didn't.
You know, when you think of it, when I totally forgot about that. I didn't, but I do understand Cynthia being cheated on and be like, yeah, that's foul. So on some levels, yes, and some levels, no.
Now, how about you, Ranting with Ricardo? How do you feel about the middle school body boy having a problem with Carter kissing a real woman?
No sympathizations. You know how I feel about that heathen. Okay, I don't like her. I'll never see it for the. Oh, hold on. I'll never see it for the child of Brooke. I'd never see it for her. You know, your life was doomed anyway to be exactly who you was because you were the
Because, like
child.
Bobby said, Hope has a lifetime stupidity. Absolutely.
She does. Listen, I told you I'll never see it for her after she told Liam that the death of him and Steffi's baby was their destiny. Never see it for her after that. I don't care what happened. You could be driven crazy. Don't care. It's Hope. Forget Hope. You upset that somebody kissed on Carter? Honestly, we was hoping Carter wouldn't end up with you. I was rooting for Carter to end up with somebody else. He just managed to fuck. First of all, there's something powerful about them Logans. Carter hadn't even, really Carter didn't even taste nothing before he decided to start on this plan of snatching the company away from the Foresters. Now
Mm.
when he got a taste, that's when he went ahead with his plan. But it was like, oh my God, you want us to feel bad about them kissing? I don't care.
And yes, Rosemary, Emma Barber, she was on The Bold and the Beautiful. Now she would be the star of The Bold and the Beautiful. If she came back, she would instantly the ratings would be through the roof if Emma Barber came back because people to this day have been outraged with The Bold and the Beautiful ever since that beautiful woman left this earth way too soon. So therefore, if Brad Bell, you want to get your ratings back up, just bring back my girl. She will
I
raise
mean,
the ratings. Wouldn't you love to see Emma? You saw that episode where she was tragically killed, Albert. So wouldn't you love to see her again?
Yes, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that much about her. It'd be nice to see more people of color on that show. I'll keep it real.
yes,
So
But speaking more with Daphne, I mean, at least she's getting a little less goofy each
I
episode.
know.
At least a little bit, but still, now she acting like she's in love with Carter too. I'm like, come on now. Bald and the Beautiful really knows how to ruin a love story. Like, why can't they ever just take things slow? I mean, you don't even have to take things, but like, it's just ridiculous though. Like, 1 minute you go on one day, then oh, we're in love, and then talk about, and then they could literally be dating for 2 weeks, and they'd be like, well, why aren't you engaged yet?
the
Like,
last,
you literally have people on that dialogue that go, oh yeah, well, you've been seeing her for a few weeks, so why aren't you engaged yet? It's
the
just
last.
ridiculous.
Take it slow on the Bold and the Beautiful. And I know how you feel about her, but I have to say it was Steffi and Finn. That's the last time we saw anybody actually take it slow, and they had their own set of issues. I, relationships on the Bold and the Beautiful remind me of the relationships I saw happen in middle school. You go out on a date, or somebody give you something. Ooh, we're dating, and then maybe a week, 2 weeks later, they broken up, and you was somebody new. That's what the relationships give me on the Bold and Beautiful. I don't know what. No, I know what's wrong with the writing, but it's not like that man gonna hire me because I talk bad about his show. Sure do. The writing is
Good.
awful.
If they hired you, the ratings would be up within few episodes of your writing. The ratings would go right back through the roof.
I mean,
Kyreese, I gotta ask you a question now.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what this question is. I'm gonna keep asking you until you give me the right answer. You know
Brady
what that
Black
question
is still a four, and he will still never, ever be anything more. I already knew.
oh, a younger Brady
I
was
knew you. I know you well.
a younger Brady was definitely like before Dad bod. A younger Brady for me was a no. He was a 7.5. He was, but now Brady with the Dad bod.
Four, nothing more.
I'm gonna go with a 4. I'm sorry, Albert, but it's a 4.
you done?
Thank you.
They're not giving her, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. When he first came
You
back
see,
on
Tanya gives him a 4-2, right, Tanya? You give him a 4-2.
when he first came back on the scene, when he made his return back to, Days of Our Lives after being away for so long, after Chloe had already come back, he was definitely giving me an 8. And when he was with, Kristen, before, she blew that whole thing up by, drugging and sleeping with Eric to, get back at Marlena, he was, and they had that whole little striptease episode, he was giving me a 10. But now he gives, what was that number again, Kyreese?
4, nothing
That,
more.
that would be the one.
Okay.
That's
Just checking. Don't worry, Kyrie. So I'm gonna sit there and ask you this again, and we'll see what you answer. See if your answer changes.
it.
And
Sure
that's
won't be. But
that,
now my next question is, why is Taylor on Bold and the Beautiful such a dingbat?
oh, God.
I'll start with Albert. Oh my gosh, was Taylor not giving you a headache? For
She was just being unrealistic. I mean, on top of just being a dingbat, she was just unrealistic. Because I'm like, what is going to the house gonna do if it's not gonna be a permanent solution? Like, what is that supposed to do at this point? It is. It doesn't even make sense.
and
That's
not
the problem.
and not to mention, what type of security do they have? Do they have at Forrester create? I mean, at Eric's house any damn ways? What is Eric gonna answer the door? They'll push. All they gotta do is blow air. That's gonna knock his little old ass down. So please, like, what's he gonna do about it? So I'm just
Sugar,
saying.
Sugar got in Steffi's place when she was supposed to have like security team, and Sugar got in his place. So like, I don't understand.
If Stephanie Forrester was still alive and running the show down to the Forrester mansion, ain't nobody getting through. Ain't nobody about to step up in there and cause no problems. Because
Um,
she take on the whole world.
Jonathan says broken heart syndrome, my foot. I'm gonna up that even more. Broken heart syndrome, my black ass. That's what it. That's what.
I I hate what they did to Taylor, like her character. They just destroyed her character.
Hold up, Albert. I'll let you read this comment. She gave you an answer you like.
I like Brady Brack. I give him enough. Goddamn right. There we go.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. There we go.
Jacqueline said, "I don't agree with Taylor telling Steffi to leave Finn. Absolutely not. I'm like, first of all,
because I'll say this. I don't agree with her telling her to leave Finn whatsoever. If it was Liam, she wouldn't tell her to leave Liam. But also look at what the character is doing now. It's like y'all have destroyed this character. Like there is no way of taking the character back to what she used to be like in the 90s and the early 2000s whatsoever. Just like what was the point? What was the point of bringing Taylor back from the dead if y'all was going to do this?
exactly. She could gladly leave her back dead again. This time,
What's continuously bringing her back, and every single time we see her come back, she's just the shell of what she used to be. Why is she not at work? Where's her daddy? Where's her brother? Taylor had other stuff going on outside of the Foresters. I'm not going to forget that when she originally left Ridge back in the 90s, Ridge couldn't keep himself away from the beach house and going to see her.
Mhm.
Okay?
Jonathan said, "Rich Forrester is a foreign and will never be anything more." I'm like, I really don't understand why Brooke wants Rich so badly. Though I will never understand that. I'm just saying.
I mean, this Ridge back when he was like Patrick Thornhart on One Life to Live. Oh, I understand. I synced it. I get it. I truly understand. And when he was Zach down to the All My Children, I got it. I understood it. But Ridge as a character just annoys me. Like
Mm.
either what Jasmine Sullivan say, don't forget to pick up you and your feelings. Pick up your feelings and go move on.
Yes, I put us on to pick up your feelings. I'm just
I actually listen, I liked when he wasn't playing back and forth with, the likes of uh Brooke. It felt so terrible coming out my mouth. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Or Taylor. I liked him when he was with Shauna. I like I
Oh,
like
Denise Richards' character.
yeah, I like
That's what
these
Shauna
characters
was.
when they aren't stuck in this back and forth, this repetitive relationship and repetitive writing. I actually like when they go get into relationships with other people outside of their sister's husbands, Brooke. But I don't see it for Ridge at this point. Ooh, what y'all think what what do y'all think Steffi is gonna do?
I feel that Steffi's probably going to end up leaving Finn, um, because
Yeah.
that's just what Steffi does. And then Finn is going to have to beg for Steffi to come back. We're going to get more tears and more stuff like that. So I can see that going down.
I
But
I think this time I could understand why she would leave because girl, your life is in danger, Molly.
I don't. She's a selfish dingbat. And at the end of the day, Luna. But one last thing I wanted before we wrap this up. One last thing I wanted to say is Luna calling Finn dad was just a little bit too much too soon. Like I get that, like just him being your biological father doesn't just automatically earn him that name though. Like you need to and to establish a relationship. I mean, you claim that. First of all, I have trouble buying into anything Luna's selling, anyways. But I just feel that that's a title that's earned, not just a title that's just
Mm.
like that. Don't you agree, Albert?
Yeah, yeah. I 100% agree with that. Like, you're not just gonna sit there and show up the next day and I'm just gonna start calling you dad and father and stuff like that. Like, I know that she wants to actually have a father, but like, I don't. No, I do think that that's rushing it.
Exactly. But all right. So as we wrap up, did you have any final thoughts, ranting with Ricardo?
The Luna Finn thing is weird. It it's weird. I wouldn't like you don't know like he was your cousin before he told you, hey, I'm your biological father. So calling him dad is weird to me. Um it 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 don't it makes my skin crawl. I'll say that. That's what that is. Um y'all gotta continue to watch Beyond the Gates. It gets better every single day.
Absolutely. I ain't going no. I'm glued to Beyond the Gates more than Nikki, way more than Nikki Newman's 2020 wig. All right. Unlike that wig, we ain't going nowhere with Beyond the Gates. So I'm gonna stand on business with that. So yeah, I ain't got to worry about that. But you got any final words, Albert?
Well, it was actually really cool to sit there and talk and hang out with Ranto Ricardo because I always sit there and watch your channel and stuff like that. I saw you live today
Oh,
while I
thank
was
you.
just doing stuff or whatever. So I was like, you know what? Listen, I get to actually hang out with you, get to talk to you and stuff like that. You're killing it with your channel. So just keep being awesome.
Yes, we love you. We love your channel over here.
And Kyreese Clarke, of course, I get to sit there and hang out with my boy, Kyreese, being captain, just taking charge. So it was fun. It's always fun to sit there and talk to my guy, Kyreese. So
Yes, and
appreciate you.
I had a lot of fun with y'all.
I have a lot of fun as well. Well, all right, everybody. This was lots of fun like usual. Have a great night, Jonathan and Jacqueline, Too Feisty, George Blackmon, Tommy Smith, Ron, um, and
Oh, God.
Rosemary, and
Everybody.
Shakira and everybody else. This is lots and lots and lots of fun. I will be back probably tomorrow. If I'm not live streaming tomorrow, then I'll definitely live stream again on Friday. But have a great night, everybody. This is lots.
Night.